All right, we're going to talk about a lot of really cool things in this video because we just spent all day at Fox Next Studio. Casino was there, and Casino and Valley was giving them a ton of crap, and we gave them crap about Alliance Wars, Blitz, Wolverine, and Mega Orbs. And I got to tell you a couple of the things that we talked about before we talk about this video, but we talked about Graviton Unlocked on Casino's video. We talked about save squads, what they want to do save on Casino's video. And then in Valley's video, we talked about catch-up mechanics and basically bringing newer players up faster. We've talked about Blitz changes. We talked about Disney selling off Fox Next. And then we also talked about saving time. How was it worded?
This is minimizing the time spent playing the game, mainly the repetitive things in the game.
And before we get into the core of this video, which is going to be the changes to War and how War plays out and how they want to change things, and we're also going to talk about API, and I bet you most people don't know about API, but I want to, yeah. And before I move on to that conversation, we're going to talk about it. I just want to say there were two things that really stood out to me, and is one. He started off the presentation with almost every question I was going to ask in advance. Like the guy scoured Reddit and knew what to say. And the second thing that I got out of it is like, dude, this guy plays the game every day. And most of the frustrations that I had daily, he actually was having himself personally, and because he plays the game anonymously. What was the things that you got out of that? Most of what happened today.
Just definitely, they're very in touch with the game, and they know exactly what's going on. Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, they've heard most of our complaints, and they want to make the game as fun as possible. And most importantly, though, kind of like you said, they're very open to feedback, and I was so surprised. I thought like, oh, maybe I'll get to bring up a couple of the things. No. We got to bring up every single grievance we had, and you guys will be happy to hear they were mostly on board with pretty much everything that we brought up. They were like, we've been thinking about that, we've been talking about it. Here's where we're going with it, but. Yeah, there was nothing where they were like, "Wait, you guys are mad about that?" No, they got it.
No,
so that was
and I really got the impression that they experienced all the same frustrations that we experience with the frustrating parts of the game, and they're very aware of that. They want to make these changes, and it just takes a long time to implement a lot of these things. But the impression that they don't know what's going on in their game and they don't know what we're experiencing is wrong, because they do. They know they play the game every day. And a lot of them.
Some of them undercover while getting called idiots by the other players.
Yes. And secondly, I want to say that we did see a lot of characters, new characters, reworked characters.
More than we were supposed to.
We saw a lot of stuff, but it was so much information, and there was too much, and it was pretty cool. But there was so much information, they told us not to talk about it and just wait until they could actually print it out and that we could talk about the official, because they could change things. But I gotta say, everything I saw was really cool, kind of exciting. So let's talk about Alliance War and the problem with Alliance War. Now, explain to me what the Alliance War problem is firstly.
All right, so the main issue is firstly, I thought he was going over there. I got faked out.
Faked everybody.
No, you go now.
But so the couple of main things were I'm sure.
I'll believe it.
Are you guys done? No, I'm just kidding.
Give me 3 more minutes.
My God.
Nah, I'm just kidding.
Your time's up. Okay, what do you think? Spit it out.
All right, so I forgot what I was gonna say. No, I'm just kidding. All right, all right. But so the main thing with Blitz is
war.
All right, so the main thing with the war, as we're gonna, gosh, this is a video. All right, so the main thing with the war, as we're gonna touch on in Valley's video, is a smaller part of it was having to decide which resources go where with your Blitz credits to be able to fully compete with war, but more importantly, the war meta. They're now able to see that the war meta is who full clears first. And they understand that, and they understand that war defense is kind of lacking, and so they want to focus more on war defense, including making more engaging, more reliable war defense teams, and kind of balance it so that it's not just a race to the finish.
Yeah, that's the big thing I got is to the full clear, the full offense rush was not their intent. It was and not to spend all the currency to really have to push that to get your 3 refreshes right in the beginning and be on exact times right when the refresh right when you get more energy. So. Yeah, it's nice because it is stressful. In the beginning, it wasn't like that, and that wasn't their intent. But it's kind of evolved there, and they don't like how it's evolved either. So,
and if I could just throw a note in there, they mentioned that they understand if you're hearing this and you're like, "What? We never full clear." They understand that this is a problem for a very small percentage of alliances at the top. They're just saying that. The top alliances are going to be indicative of what's to come for the rest of the players. So they want to head it off before it's a problem for most. But if you're not full clearing, they understand that that's most people's experience.
And then they also talked about the boost mechanic being a strange thing when we're tapping the screen trying to race, and that was not their intent.
Yeah.
And they don't like it, and that they wanted. He didn't give a specific answer, but he was like, "Yeah, that's not what the purpose of that boost mechanic was." And he threw out like 3 or 4 different solutions, so I don't know which one to pick to talk about.
We threw out a bunch of
yeah,
and I don't know which one they're gonna go with.
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do, but he's like, "Yeah, it's because he's a player." So it was, but mostly I think what the push was is that they. One of 2 things was going to happen. Characters were going to come out more specifically with defense mechanics. We've already seen a leaked data mined Coulson kit, and so we'll have to see what happens with that. And then also something you brought up and he agreed with is maybe changing the room bonuses.
Yeah.
But the idea of full clear versus full clear was meant to be like how to unlock the puzzle, and it took months for us to figure out. And now that we've figured it out, there's going to be a shift in character design, and so that it won't be full clear versus full clear. And this race thing is not what the mode is supposed to be about. Is that what you got out of it?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
But also they want to do it in a way where it's not unfun to play against some of these defenses. They don't want it to just be, a slaughter or anything like that. Something that's just annoying to play against. They don't want someone just dodging every ability. So they understand that as well.
Yes. Okay, and then the second thing that we're going to talk about is API, and I think a lot of people don't care about API, but they should.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we're talking about with API is that there's no way of exporting my roster anywhere, not a website, not into an app. There's no data that can be collected about the game for an external website. Why is that important?
Well, there's a lot of sites that you want to be able to see your data. And see where your characters are, so you could kind of plan out your roster. We had mods, the ISO8's data mined as well, or leaked way back in the day as well. And you were talking about a different game that you play. You spent 6 hours changing that thing around, and if you had to do that without any resource that you could see all your data, that just would be crazy. It'd take double, triple the time. So
why is it?
An API would be important to be able to see all that and be able to manage that stuff a lot better than we can in the game.
Yep, and the 2 main reasons are, firstly, alliance management tools. So we currently use one. I think you use it too, the MSF PAL, and it's super annoying. You have to constantly manually update your roster info, and it's a huge chore. But it's great for officers and stuff to be able to look at, when you're planning like who's going where in raid. It's good to be able to look and say, oh, Valley has an amazing defender team. We want him in a city lane, whereas OMG is an amazing Guardian team. We're going to put him in the Cosmic lane, so that's a big part of it. And then same thing for War. And then for helping, for apps that help people build teams and stuff, like MSF PAL has like a sure-to-win Blitz team builder, kind of a rudimentary one. But yeah, if you had a way to easily link your account and have it auto-update that stuff, it's a lot easier to build things that give people pointers and kind of auto-construct teams and track stuff. So
something that my guild does is that we put our rosters into Google Sheets, and this guy who plays anonymously moved into a guild that required that, and he was like, "Oh my God, people have to do this!" Like he was like, just like, "Oh my God, I don't have time for this," and he's like, "We need API," and it was like, I don't think they've said.
Ironically, it'll take him less time to get that implemented than have to do it.
Yeah, so API is important, and I think that where websites like MSF.gg will become much, much better when they actually can get the information directly from the game rather than having to input everything manually or stripping it from the data mine. But then individual roster information, they just don't have access to it. So it's kind of a strange thing.
Good for screening candidates too, because right now you can ask someone to send me all the screenshots of your roster and I'll look over, but mainly we just do it by like, oh, here's my total collection power, here's my strongest team power. But them just being able to say, like, here's a link to my stuff, you can just check it all out online. Then you can immediately be like, whoa, 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 this guy's Wolverine and Thor as his top characters. His numbers might be nice, but this guy doesn't know what the hell he's doing. So,
okay.
That was good.
So we'll head over to Casino's channel because we're going to talk about how Graviton, not how he's unlocked, but how he's not going to be unlocked. That's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about saved squads and the plan for that. And then on Valley's channel, we're going to talk about the catch-up mechanic, blitz changes, the Disney buyout, and time spent in the game and quality of life.
We should probably mention one more juicy thing that we haven't mentioned in any of the videos. Might as well do it here. Skins.
Okay.
A little update on that.
Okay, so the skins thing, it's funny. I actually don't know what the point of that conversation was. I don't remember it. I just know that he was like a huge fan of skins, but I didn't get anything out of that.
Well, that wasn't anything new. So the update to skins, it's not your guys' fault. I got pulled aside randomly, like just while they were, other people were mingling, like, hey, I had this thought. You're right here. Let me ask you. But so what we've already known is, they've said this 100 times, they want to do skins in some capacity. They don't know how. They don't know when. You don't have to start planning for skins. We don't know if they're going to change stats or charge any of that. But we do know that they've wanted to do skins. They're open to skins. They like the idea of skins. It's a matter of how they're going to implement it, how they're going to give it away, etc. But I got pulled aside and was asked an interesting question, which, again, doesn't necessarily indicate something's going to happen. But I was very happy that I even got asked for this feedback, which was, how would you feel about skins as exclusive rewards? So like if there was skins for a character for being one of the first 10 to do Dark Dimension, or for being in a top 10 War Season finish, but it could be for any other things, for once you hit 10,000 Blitz battles, you get a skin, but just skins as rewards for stuff.
So guess what time it is?
Is it giveaway time?
It's time for the giveaway.
Nice.
And for you that haven't watched these videos before, all of my giveaways are fake and they are not scams. So what do you think this one's going to be? You have any idea yet?
I have no idea what you got.
Well, I really hope you like this video today, because if you did, you're in luck. For every single person that likes this video, you'll be getting for free in your account a 7 red star. This is a scam.
Ooh.
How many do you have?
That'd be 0.
How many do you have?
0.
None of us have any red stars. It's just, did anybody there? Nobody there had
any red.
There was one person that had one person, but that doesn't matter. All right, guys. So be sure to, one person.
Forget that guy.
Forget that guy. And he had a trash character too.
Yep.
Trash character. Okay. Useless. Even after rework, he was going to be useless. I don't know if you caught that.
I don't know who it is.
Okay, never mind. All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and keep on gaming.